Has declaring, "I am a sovereign citizen and I don't have to obey the law," ever once worked? About as much as the copypasta for content rights on Facebook, I guess. It didn't even work for Charles I of England. My mom's neighbor tried that. Said he only answered to the federal government. They took him to jail and weren't going to originally. If the sovereign citizen defense worked, then every defense lawyer in every case would be advising their client to use it. Quite why Sovsits can't make that intuitive leap defeats me. I like watching the meltdowns during court sentencing, and being hauled off in chains by the bailiff, still raving and struggling. It's better comedy than any SNL skit. I declare bankruptcy. Quote, "Those people have oppositional defiant disorder and feel that the rules do not apply them, yet then insist on utilizing the infrastructure and benefits upon which our society was constructed around." Relevant overused quote sums it up quite well. Libertarians are like house cats, absolutely convinced of their fierce independence while utterly dependent on a system they don't appreciate or understand. No, it has never worked. Nobody gets to demand a trial in an admiralty court either. They honestly seem to think it's a magic spell, and that it definitely, absolutely should work, but that everyone besides them is just too stupid to get it. Sure, if you're in your embassy and they back you, otherwise you are in fact responsible for following the laws of the land you're in. You agree to that upon entry. Embassies are the only place that's gotten sovereign rule via their country of origin. Far as I know. No, it hasn't. They do it because they are stupid in my experience of dealing with about a dozen of them. The entire state of New Hampshire has left the chat, probably because a collapse of public infrastructure. More often than not, I'd venture no, but I had one officer tell me a story on the affirmative. Pulled over a Sovsit traveling north on I-35 driving to Nebraska from Oklahoma. When he saw the Sovsit tag, he immediately radioed to see how close backup was, and it was nowhere nearby. He said that as soon as he exited his cruiser, the guy was verbally aggressive through his open window. He had images of shootouts running through his head, so he just yelled for the guy to get home to Nebraska. Figured this wasn't going to be the last time the vehicle was going to be stopped, but wasn't worth the risk with no backup. Nope, about as well as not ever declaring loyalty to the king right before your head rolls. If the goal is getting lots of negative attention, sure, it seems to work pretty well at that. Not to my knowledge. Here's a sovereign citizen and pseudo-law scholar who I recommend looking into for further reading on the subject. Donald J. Nedolitsky. He has a PhD in an unrelated field, but he is a qualified Canadian lawyer who specializes on this topic and has written quite a bit on the subject. Here's one shorter, scholarly article he's written about. In it he mentions that these sovereign citizen arguments never work in court. Nedolitsky, Donald. A rebellion of furious paper. Pseudolaw is a revolutionary legal system. Paper delivered at the Centre d'Expertise et de Formation sur les intégrismes religio et la radicalisation. CEFIR. Symposium. Sovereign Citizens in Canada. Montreal. Volume 3. 2018. Here's Dr. Nedolitsky's Google Scholar page where you can find more of his work on how sovereign citizens fare in court. https scholar.google.com/citations. User equals LO0GJXYAAJ and HL equals N. It works if you're looking to get arrested. No way. Never works. That's crazy. Now if you get brought to a court that has a fringe on the flag though, well that's different. Dale Gribble. I kind of want to see someone claim to be a sovereign citizen and end up getting detained by immigration for illegal entry into the US and then subject to deportation. Mostly to see how hard they are willing to push that farce in the face of those kind of dire circumstances. End communication. Oh, I can explain that. They are what is known as stupid. Short answer, no. Long answer, ha 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 no.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.